but I still have like 5 animals on my list that I want to shoot. I just haven't seen anything and the weather's been bad. So tomorrow is our last day and I feel like I might be a little screwed. I know what I shoot was going to be kept a secret, but at this point I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it happen. So I'll just let you know what was on the rest of my list. I wanted to shoot a black wildebeest, a ostrich, a leechway, a warthog, a kudu. I'd still shoot another kudu if it came out. But I'm pretty positive my kudu's dead somewhere. We just can't find him. Especially with the rain, you can't find any tracks or blood anymore. So tomorrow we are flying a drone. I also believe my mom and I are gonna sit separate tomorrow since our last day. So she can hopefully get her buffalo and I can shoot, 5 animals in one day? Wow, my hair looks like... It's been a long day. I'm sweating. I don't smell good. I'm getting ready to take a bath in my mom's room because I don't have a bathtub in my room. I do have an outside shower though. Am I talking too much? Nah. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm just saying, if a giraffe walks out the last day, I'm shooting it. Now, do you want to know why? Let me just tell you something real quick. There's no animal here that's going extinct. Elephants, they're so overpopulated. Zebras, they're so overpopulated. Everything, nothing's going... I don't know why the media says this. I come here and I'm like, where do I look? There's so many animals.
Listen, this whole Britney Scoville situation is just one big mess. Like I said in the very first video I made covering the whole saga that's going on TikTok with Britney Scoville and her statements about Africans, South Africans, Zimbabweans, right? The propaganda and lies, misinformation she was spreading. Like I said in that video, as an African, I cannot understand this whole hunting down animal culture that these people have. I don't get it. Like it doesn't sink in my brain. My African brain cannot fathom why you would just be going about killing animals. Because you see, the only animal we kill is the one we eat. We just don't go into the wild hunting down and unaliving animals for fun. Not to talk about taking trips to go do that. Buying plane tickets, flying into another man's country just so he can go hunt down and unalive their animals. The whole concept of being a hunting culture is weird. It's weird to me as an African. I cannot wrap my African brain around it. It's not clicking. It's not clicking in my brain. And it would never click. Right now on the screen, I have put together pictures of her kills that she has on her Instagram and also, clearly state out, well display out the captions for this post of hers on Instagram. You can pause to read these captions if you want to. Basically, in there, she's just talking about why hunters need to exist, somehow justifying this whole unaliving of animals, like, oh, they're doing this good job and helping society and stuff. Like the one she was talking about, the Cape buffalo, I believe. She was talking about how, oh, they are ruthless. This is me paraphrasing right now. Like, they can just come charging at you and they are dangerous, right? They are not innocent. They need to be taken down for, the safety of people. So you left America. Oh my goodness. You left America to come down here just to unalive our animals for us. Like, and now you are telling us you are doing us a favor.
Brittany, what have you just unlocked? She even has another Instagram, a writing one, and it says self-love, mental health, truth, reality, do no harm, take no ish. Very ironic. But she's out here saying how she is doing harm and killing all of our animals in South Africa, from the buffaloes and the antelope and all of that, hey? She says that hunting is actually essential. Hunters are essential because apparently look at this next part. Because apparently the Cape buffalo, they're not innocent. It's a pattern that's repeating itself, about, in things that are indigenous to the lands and stuff. And then she's coming here doing this nonsense. You know what I mean? It seems like a pattern of her and some of her people. Like, who invited you? And so, okay, so if the buffalo and whatever, they're not innocent, what the heck did the impalas do over here? Like, once again, she's saying hunters are important. For what? So she can just go and hang the head up on a wall or something like that? Like, I don't understand. And back to that old post about the Cape Buffalo, it's just like she has so many pictures and posts of her like talking about all the animals she's hunted in South Africa. She came all the way to South Africa to hunt our animals, which is just crazy to me. It's just like, who you come to enjoy South Africa's land just for you to go back to the States and then talk nonsense about it. Like, how does that make sense? And she's bringing the gun situation to South Africa. She's bringing guns as well. Who put her in that place, in that position where she feels like, yeah, she does have the right to hunt on South Africa's land and then talk nonsense after going back, because it was just so bad and she felt so unsafe. She said she felt so unsafe, but yet she's the one that's killing innocent animals in South Africa's land. And then she's saying that they're using that leftover meat or whatever to feed it to the villagers. Who asked you to come to fly all the way to South Africa and come feed villagers with animals that you just killed on their land? I don't. Who asked you?
Is the South African government aware that people take trips to South Africa to go hunt down their animals, their wildlife? Is the South African government aware that their wildlife is in danger? For goodness sakes, the government have to do something to curb this situation, and not just in South Africa, right? On the continent at large, our wildlife needs to be protected. I was in Kenya earlier this year, and while I was in Kenya, a friend of mine from the UK decided to come visit me in Kenya and just use the opportunity, because I was in Kenya, to come see Kenya, right? He's never been to Kenya, so we were both in Kenya for the first time. And while we were in Kenya, we decided to go visit the wildlife, so we went to Nairobi National Park. And there was a point where this friend of mine asked the driver that was driving us around the park if people come to illegally hunt the animals there. So check out the video.
This one we call hartebeest.
Hartebeest.
Yeah, this one is hartebeest, and that one is wildebeest.
What happened to one of its horns?
Yeah, they fight, and then.
Do you have illegal hunters here?
Yeah.
Oh, they come here too.
Yeah, there is a lot of security inside this park to look for these animals.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they steal their horns.
Yeah.
So you heard what the driver said. There are securities there on ground to protect these animals because there are people who come in with the intention to hunt them down. There was even a place in the park that had some kind of memorial, and this place was dedicated to elephants that had died, right? The elephants that died and got their tusk stolen. And in this particular place, as you can see on the screen, I have pictures there. You see that pile there, that white pile that looks like ashes. Those are actually elephant tusks that were burnt, because, you know, you can imagine the number of elephants that had to die for this number of tusks to be gotten that was burnt here. So what the government did was, no, we're not going to sell these tusks, we're not going to profit off of it, we're going to burn them. And from this day moving forward, say no more this. Like, now our animals are going to be protected, our elephants are going to be protected. And this is why we would not stop saying they are their ancestors, because if we truly want to trace this behavior back, if we truly want to peel back this onion, their ancestors were doing exactly this during colonization. Their ancestors were down here hunting down and unaliving our animals in astronomical numbers. Here in Africa, in various cultures across the continent, there are animals that we cannot unalive because it is forbidden, abomination, alu, you cannot touch them. Our people have been respecting and protecting animals for hundreds of thousands of years, and we also respected nature and protected her. But then they came with their uncultured self that had no regard or respect for nature, saw all of these animals and resources, and they did not know how to behave. They started hunting these animals down, unaliving them in astronomical numbers to the point where certain species drastically reduced in number. And it's crazy how now whenever they're talking about how certain species are going extinct, they don't talk about how they played a role in making sure that happened. But you want to know what I find most ironic in all of this? Is how after these people have caused and are still causing so much destruction, they now swarm in and draft out laws that are very similar to the ones that the ancient indigenous people have been abiding by. But then they make it seem like before this law was made, nobody else was living like this. You know, they are the civilized folks, right? And they are the ones coming in with the civilized rules and regulations. Me, I'm just like, can you people please shift to one corner? Mr. Abid and Mrs. so-called civilized European. People actually had that law. You came in with your uncivilized, uncultured, no regard for nature's self, and you disrupted that system. acting like you were the first to figure it out that animals should be protected. It's the same thing you see them talking about human rights. I'm like, oh my goodness, somebody help me. You are the one talking about human rights. You are the one that want to put in laws to protect people. You. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, listen, let me just force myself to end this video because I swear I could go on and on and on about this. But honestly, continentally, globally, we really need to start taking good care of our wildlife. We really need to start protecting them because it's looking like these people already know that in the next how many thousand years they won't be here because, you know, the sun is doing what the sun has to do, right? So they are trying to take our wildlife with them. That won't happen. But guys, what do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section, and of course, as always, I'll see you in the next one.
You know you're in South Africa when you go outside to take a shower and there's impalas staring at you from the backyard.
These fucking impalas.